Hello, I'm Jam, and today we're working on another system-agnostic mini-dungeon for Patreon. But this video is going to go a bit differently. For Anarchy at the Aviary, I'm thrilled to have Nova talk about their part in this collaboration.
Hey y'all, surprise! This is Nevyn, or Nova. I'm the other half of Dinoberry Press. I help edit these videos, and I actually wrote this month's dungeon. Usually Jam writes these all herself. Sometimes I step in to help with like descriptions or little mechanics. She's got this huge long-running list of ideas. I was really inspired by the notes that Jam had for this dungeon pitch, and I kind of took them and ran with them. What you're watching here is me blocking out the dungeon layout. I used sticky notes and washi tape to play around with the structure to get something that felt nice. Later on, I try doing some die drops to place little side rooms to tie together with secret tunnels. I probably could have just not done that and just placed the rooms, and I kind of end up doing that anyways. But, you know, sometimes we try something and we decide to do something completely different immediately. Once I have the structure blocked out, I do end up deciding to go ahead and sketch out some of the art to give Jam a better idea of how things look in my head. I'm not trying to be one-to-one or perfect here. And honestly, I don't usually do art like this, but when I do, I basically just grab all my stationery supplies and try to make something that at least gives off the vibe that's in my head. I did get to use my nice little fountain pen and a bunch of highlighters to really get some sketchy kind of inky art, and Jam is going to use this as a starting point for the final art later on in the video. For now, while the art's going on, I want to talk a bit about the dungeon itself. In this little adventure, the party finds themselves at the Alabaster Aviary, a home for magical crows that doubles as a bit of a tourist destination. Normally, things would be super orderly and well maintained because these crows have their stuff together, and they want any passersby who might be interested in some avian inventions to be able to stop in and see what's up. Today, it's all chaos. Everything's chaos. A magical spell went sideways, and some strange, terrifying creature slipped through the ley lines and into the aviary. Now, that creature is roaming the halls and causing chaos. And the crows are also causing chaos because they're terrified of this creature and trying to figure things out. So it's a lot of chaos. It's anarchy. It's absolute anarchy in here. All sorts of things are breaking. The crows are all in a kerfuffle, and quite frankly, they need your help to fix things and send the creature back into the void it came from. There are a bunch of little MacGuffins that the party needs to get, and those are placed randomly throughout the dungeon, decided by a die roll at the start of the session. Each room has suggestions for where an item could be found. Additionally, there's a bunch of birds who need help fixing things who will give you hints in return. The big twist of this dungeon, though, is that the creature is always following the players. There's a countdown clock, and every time the party goes to another room or spends time doing something like helping a bird, having a conversation, looking for something, the clock ticks down. When it reaches 0, the creature shows up and the party needs to subdue it and escape. I really like designing pressure mechanics like this. I've got them in a lot of the games that I've designed. Countdowns are fun, pressure is fun, and I wanted something to keep the players moving here, to keep them exploring. Because there's always a chance that like, oh, I'm in a room and I think I know where the thing is. I'm gonna go try and get it, but oh no, the creature's here. We have to deal with that now, or we have to run away and come back. I had a great time designing this dungeon. I really like doing dungeons, and I really like trying to make things dynamic, and creating some tension with a slow roll chase adventure was a blast. Plus, I love making little weirdos, and these birds absolutely fit the bill. The art Jam does for them is so great. I cannot wait for you to meet them. But that is it for me. I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you enjoy your trip to the aviary, and I'm gonna go ahead and pass it back over to Jam to take over the rest of the video.
Hello, I'm back. So Nova asked me to recreate the map, and with the sketch here, I put it on the lowest layer and lower the opacity so I can draw over it easily. The final map ends up slightly different and there's a few name changes, but I really like the scratchy style, so I make sure to lean into that. I started off with outlines of all the domes, heavily inspired by bird cages, and I connected them all with tunnels. Then I came back through and added some color. Once I was happy with all the details inside the domes, I carved out the background. In the end, I turned it green and added a rocky black texture over it. With the map art done, here's a couple of the crows you'll meet. This first crow is Button. She's a smaller crow who'll need some help saving her golden bow from a thorny bush. The next crow I'm drawing for the sticker designs is Coin. They'll likely be one of the first crows you meet. Coin will probably be all frazzled because there's a terrible creature let loose in the aviary. Next, it's time to make these stickers a reality. So I added a sticker border and prepped the images in the Silhouette Studio software. Next, I printed and laminated and let my cutting machine do the trimming. By the way, doing all the YouTube stuff like commenting, likes, dislikes, subscribing, it massively helps a small channel like mine, and it's totally free for y'all to do. We're coming up to our first year of videos, and there's still a long way to go until we reach our first goal of 1K subs. So to all of you here right now, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. With the stickers for my Patreon members all done, it's time to work on the postcard. First thing to do is work on adding labels and details to the map side. To add some curved text, I made a curved line with the pen tool. I set the stroke to be transparent, and I used the artistic text tool to turn the pen stroke into a text line. Wow! Next, I added a location name to test with and played around with the font settings. To make the text easier to read, I used the Quick Effects window and added a thick outline to the text layer. I mostly aimed to make it thick enough to fill in all the little gaps between the characters. Happy with that, I copy and pasted more labels around the map. So let me show you how I quickly took this same curve and flipped it upside down. All I did was flip it vertically, hit reverse text path to get the text on the other side of the line, and then flipped it horizontally. Wham bam thank you ma'am. Instead of drawing a whole new line and trying to match the curve to help keep it cohesive, you can just use the curve you already have. So with all the text lines where I need them, I zoom into each location and I just replaced the text and adjusted any details and colors. With the labels done, I added our credits and picked out a font for the title text. Y'all, I think I found something that perfectly matched the vibes. With the map side done, let's get words on here. Gotta start with the text box, of course. Then we go over to our text frame window and set the columns to 3. Next, I do a bunch of formatting and font changing, but we're just gonna zip through all that with the magic of editing. The fun part is squishing in the artwork. And here we've got our little crows, button, and coin again. With the art selected, I open up the text wrap window, set it to tight, largest side, then I nudge the distance from text just enough to look good enough. You can always fine-tune the distance later on. After placing the crows in pretty good spots, I did a little bit more formatting. Next, I wanted to add some background boxes so all the little sections could be easier to digest. By the way, if you ever struggle with stylizing the corners of your rectangles, you go up here and checkmark absolute sizes. Instead of stretching them out, it will synchronize the shape of all the corners. Once I like the curve of my corners, I copy and pasted the shapes all over. If I needed another color, I just used the dropper tool to pick something from the map or straight off the crows. For a few of the boxes, I took a color and then lightened up the hue for a better contrast. That's all done. Time to print and show y'all the final goodies. I love how this punk comic booky postcard turned out. Nova wrote a really fun and quirky little dungeon that I think could fit in a fantasy or even a strange sci-fi setting. The crows and the bird domes were really fun to draw, and I really want to make more of these little crow dudes. Become a Patreon member anytime in November 2025 to get either just the stickers or the stickers and the postcard dungeon in your mailbox. You can also support us at just $2 USD. You can get access to the secret shop and you can pick up any dungeons or stickers you might have missed. Stay tuned for next month. We'll have a special collab and news about some fun stuff coming up. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you have ideas for a dungeon, let me know. Drop them in the comments. Tell me what your favorite settings are to play in. Love y'all so much. Bye-bye!